Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In the previous lecture, we have studied the exotoxin in detail. Now, in this video, we are discussing about the endotoxin. In the previous lecture, we have discussed some main features and the important exotoxins of the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. And in this video, we are discussing about the bacteria endotoxin. So without any further ado, let's get started. So here we have some main features of bacteria endotoxin. First, these are produced by gram-negative bacteria, either the gram-negative rods or the gram-negative cocci. Second, we have these are a component of a cell wall, while the exotoxins, these are secreted from the cell. We have some other main features like the endotoxins, they have low toxicity, whereas the exotoxins have high toxicity. Endotoxins are weakly antigenic and no toxoids or vaccines are available, while the exotoxins induces the high titer of antibodies. So that is called as antitoxins and their toxoids are used as a vaccines. As we know that the exotoxins are made up from polypeptides. So the genes are located on plasmid or a bacteriophage. Whereas in the endotoxins, as they are also known as the lipopolysaccharides, so their genes are located on bacterial chromosomes rather than the plasmid or a bacteriophage DNA. So, being as an integral part of a cell wall, these have also some elements of lipopolysaccharides. And we have lipid A, core polysaccharide and somatic O antigen. Here we have a diagram that is gram-negative bacteria and that's their cell wall. That is inner membrane or a plasma membrane, peptidoglycan layer that is thin in gram-negative bacteria, and that is the outer membrane. In outer membrane we have somatic O antigen, we have core polysaccharides and we have a lipid A. As we know that the outer polysaccharide, that is the somatic O antigen, is basically consists of 25 repeating units of 3 to 5 sugars, and that is used to identify the clinical laboratory organisms, and the lipid A that is responsible for toxic effects. Now let's move to the mode of action of endotoxin. We know that the major site for the action is basically the macrophage. As we know that the endotoxins are released from the surface of gram-negative bacteria and from lipopolysaccharide, especially the lipid A, that is basically the potent instrument of our immune system, and it will activate the monocyte and the macrophages. And when this complex binds to the receptors on the surface of macrophage that are basically known as the CD14 receptors, binds, it will activate the toll-like receptors for. Then after that, it will causes the signal cascade activation. And when the signal cascade activation will activate, it will start the phagocytosis. And we know that the macrophage, that is basically the type of our WBCs, it will start engulf and digest the microbes and the cellular debris and will make the microbes and the cancer cell and the other cells. After the phagocytosis, it will causes the release of the cytokines such as interleukin 1, interleukin 6 and tumor necrosis factor. It will also causes the release of the C3A or C5A, that is basically the complement. It will also cause the release of the tissue factor. When these cytokines are released, it will cause the infection. So here we have some biological effects of endotoxins that are caused after the infection or after the release of the cytokines. When the lipid A activates the macrophages, it will cause the release of interleukin 1 and interleukin 6. When these are released, it will acts on a hypothalamic regulatory center and will cause the fever. When it releases The tumor necrosis factor, it will causes the increase in the capillary permeability and causes the fever and the hypotension. When it releases the nitric oxide, it will cause increases the vasodilation and will cause the hypotension. And when endotoxins activates the complement, then it will causes the release of the C5a complement or C3a complement. When these complement cascade are started, it will causes the inflammation and the tissue damage, because the C5a will attract the neutrophils at the site of the infection and will causes the inflammation, and the C3a will causes the edema. In the last, when the endotoxin causes the release of coagulation cascade, then it will cause the release of tissue factor and will cause thrombosis and failure of vital organs. And after that, it will lead to disseminated intravascular coagulation. So here is all about the endotoxin. And in this video, we have discussed some main features, structure of lipopolysaccharide, mode of action of endotoxin, and the biological effects of endotoxin. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and share our channel. Thank you and take care.